So today we are going to be making our own mandalas. And so if you don't know what a mandala is, it is a form of art that was done and still is done all over the world. I think it had its original beginnings in East Asia. So you'll see here these beautiful drawings. They are typically in a circular format. And the thing that makes mandalas really special is they're symmetrical. So you start off in the middle and then everything going around it is all the same. So you've got zigzags all around, that's one layer. And so whatever you do, you repeat all the way around in the mandala. So you will need to make our own mandala paper, some sort of writing utensil, or colors like crayons, markers, something like that, because you're gonna make them really beautiful. I'm just gonna show you a few more examples before we get into it. Some of them are really complex. Don't worry about, how detailed yours can be. I'm gonna show you kind of what to do. But aren't they really pretty? I think they're gorgeous. They're supposed to be a representation of like the universe and everything kind of like in balance within it. So awesome. Got more people coming in. Beautiful, beautiful. A couple more mandalas. I think things like, I'm going to show you another example of one I just saw. This is fine, but it's not really the kind of mandala. It's not traditional mandala because it's just got the animal face in it, which is cool. I love the way that looks. But what a typical mandala is a center point. It's the very middle. And then there are things all the way around it. Okay, so go ahead and grab your paper and your pen, pencil, crayons, whatever. I don't care. This is not art class, so it doesn't have to be beautiful and perfect, but you're gonna want paper, pen, pencil. This is actually an original sand mandala. They make it out of colored sand in Tibet, which is just beautiful. And then they wipe it away when they're done. Aren't they beautiful and symmetrical? I love it. So don't stress. I will show you how to do this. So let me get my paper. I've got my paper. All right, I'm gonna get a black marker so that you guys can see it pretty well. I'm actually gonna move my light too so that it's shining more towards the paper. Okay, the first thing that you're gonna wanna do is draw a dot right in the middle of your paper. So you see my dots? Yep, I will wait. I will wait. I'm gonna wait. And while we wait, I'm gonna pause the recording. So starting with your paper, you're going to put a dot right in the middle. Now, you need to decide for your mandala how many sections you're going to have, and they're going to be all around your circle. So I'm going to decide that everything I do, I'm going to do 6 times around the circle. So I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to draw 6 lines coming off my circle. Now, they are not even, and that's fine. So you see how this one is a little bit too close to these. If you ever mess up like I just did, because I just kind of messed up, you just kind of add it. So I'm going to add a little one here. Now it looks more normal. So just go ahead and divide it into maybe 6 pieces or 8 pieces. I'll still stick with 6. I just needed to adjust a little bit. All right, so that's your first row. You don't have to do lines too. You can do circles, whatever kind of shape. You'll see what I mean. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do 6 little circles all the way around my thing. So I just did 6 kind of all around. The point being, whatever you do, you just do it that many times around it. So if I'm picking 6 as my magic number, I'm repeating that shape 6 times around. Whatever I do, it can be a dot, a line, whatever. So the next thing I'm going to do before I expand out a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and draw little arrow shapes between my dots. And I'll show you what I mean in a second. So there we go. I'm starting my mandala. You see what I'm talking about? I've got my dot here. That's their center point. Just whatever you do, repeat it around. That's it. And if you make a mistake, repeat the mistake around. Very easy, okay? How are we doing? Are we kind of getting the concept? I'll do some more so you can see what I'm talking about. You can make yours really complex, but that's the point. It's just like your magic number is 6. So whatever you do it 6 times total around. So I'm going to, and you can get really creative. like swirls, diamonds, stars, letters. It doesn't matter. Just whatever you do is repeated 6 times around. So I'm just going to draw some little lines in my arrows. So check that out. Getting like a snowflake vibe, right? And now I'll draw some hearts. Because again, why not? Draw whatever you want, okay? How are we doing? Some people are getting it. Good.
I got it.
Got it. Excellent. These take practice, but they're kind of foolproof because, again, if you just repeat the mistake all the way around, you're good. So check that out. Here goes my mandala. You can make it as complicated as you want. It's a beautiful thing. So there's that. Once you've drawn it out, that's when I like to do the colors. And I tend to, so if I'm coloring one heart blue, see how I've got hearts here? If I'm coloring one heart blue, I'm gonna color all the hearts blue, but then I might color the dots all purple. I think it looks more symmetrical, more like a mandala that way. So whatever your element is that you're coloring, if it's a heart, color all of them that same color. Then the next thing could all be red, and then the next thing could all be orange. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what we're doing. Got a little mandala stuff. So now I'm going to connect the bottoms of my hearts together. It's going to make like a petal shape. Also, kind of like what I'm doing, feel free to turn your paper. You don't have to keep your paper stationary. Now you're really going to see my 6 sections. See? Beautiful. Love it. And you can just embellish from there. And that's literally it. So we're just going to take the next, few minutes. The rest of the time we're here drawing your mandala. It's supposed to be kind of like a meditation. You get into it. It feels good. It feels normal. It feels natural. Remove from yourself the pressure to make it look good. It does not matter. If you, at the end of it, look at it and go, well, that looks like complete trash, that's fine. It is not about the outcome. We are so, in our society, especially as Americans, we judge ourselves by our products, by what we make, by what we do, by the grade we get, by the finished product. With mindfulness, is why it's so weird for people, is it's about the process. It's not about what you do, what it looks like in the end. It's about being in the moment, meditating through it, relaxing, accepting the mistakes that you make with grace and without judgment. That is so hard, people, to get. It is so easy because we are so used to being scored on something by how good it is, by how it measures up to perfection, so that when it doesn't meet perfect, we're like, oh, guess I failed. There's no failing in mindfulness, period. It's all part of it. So that's what the purpose of it is. I don't care if it looks like garbage to you afterwards. It doesn't matter. You should look at it and go, cool, looks like garbage, done. And then you move on with it. Even the most beautiful mandalas that the monks make in Tibet out of sand, they still end up throwing away because that's not the purpose. The purpose was the community that they built, and the process of it was about being in meditation and creating art, not about making it look good. So all that to say, I'll get down off my soapbox now, but don't worry about what it looks like. Have fun with it, relax with it, get loose in your body, laugh at the mistakes that you make, and roll with it. That's the point. So, and when you catch yourself caring about what it looks like, just breathe into it and be like, oh, there I go again. No big deal. Doesn't have to look like anything. So I'm going to put on some music. Feel free to unmute, talk, chat, type in the text box if you have questions, if you want to share what you're doing. No worries. But I'm going to actually stop the recording now so that people can do this on their own, and then we can just hang out together.